Hey everyone, it's Chris and I'm here to film the Angry Queer book tag, so I thought it'd be an appropriate time to wear this shirt in a video, and I'm pretty sure I've never worn it in a video, and it's from the Midwest Bisexual, Gay, Lesbian, Transgender, and Allied College Conference. So, it has a rainbow on it, and I just thought it was appropriate, and also I was already wearing it, and so I just didn't change. But look, it matches the video. Anyway, that was completely irrelevant. This video is about books and things and other stuff. You're gonna see. I got tagged by the creator of it. It was Sona Azra. Sona Azra. I think I just said it correctly for the first time. Boom! Anyway, go check out Sona Azra's video after this if you want to, if you would stick around for this, because I'm a mess. And also, I'm completely winging this. I did not plan my answers to the questions, but I'm still going to try to go through it pretty quickly. We'll see. First off, we're going to talk about spoiling. Not really. People think sexuality is a spoiler when really I'm always looking for books that have queer characters. I can honestly say my favorite genre is queer lit. Like queer literature. Books with queer characters of any other subgenres. Fantasy, sci-fi, contemporary, doesn't matter. If it has queer characters in it, I want to read it. And still, people will talk about books but never mention that they have queer characters in it. And so I will not be interested in them sometimes. Sometimes I'm interested in books that don't have queer characters, obviously. But like Holly Black's Darkest Part of the Forest or something, I just found out that had a queer character in it from Sona Azra video. I've never been interested in that story before. I'm like, okay, man, I need to go read that description again now because apparently there's a queer character in it. And no one in BookTube, whose review I've seen, has mentioned that. Like, nobody. At all. And I'm just like, how? How? So, I'm going to tell you guys about some books that I liked that had queer characters in it. A lot of the books I do read is queer-let, so I'm not really thinking a lot of those books are things you won't know about if you should look into it. This book! This book, Rick Riordan's books, has a queer character in it, Nico D'Angelo. He appears originally in the Percy Jackson books. You actually get his perspective in the last book of the Heroes of Olympus series. This book is from the perspective of Apollo, and Apollo is bisexual. So, queer characters in Rick Riordan books. I honestly think you can skip to Trials of Apollo if you want to, if you're not interested in any of that, but you want to read it. But you want to read a book with a bisexual main character in like a Greek mythology setting, you can totally skip to the Trials of Apollo. Don't listen to people who tell you cannot skip. You can skip whatever the heck you want. Mentioning skipping things, the next book that I want to mention about spoilers for sexuality are the Circle of Magic book series by Tamora Pierce. This is another one of those series that has multiple series. It's the Circle of Magic, the Circle Opens, and then the Circle of Forge. One of the main characters from this series that we meet in the first series is a queer woman of color. And it was the first time I saw a queer person of color at all in a book. And it happened in The Will of the Empress, which I read in high school. It's part of the Circle of Forge series, so it's like 10 books in. It's called The Will of the Empress, but you can literally just skip to the Circle of Forge if you wanted to. Circle of Magic and the Circle Opens are when the characters are younger, and I think that's the only reason Tamora Pierce doesn't have that character's sexuality mentioned much younger in that books, and I understand that for the time period that the books started coming out in, but I'm pretty sure she had a plan for that character to character sexuality throughout the entire thing. She didn't know if she was going to touch on it or not until The Will of the Empress, and I was really excited when I saw that. So that's not a lot of books for this question, but it's already minutes of me talking, so we're going to go on to the next one. Number 2, talk about a book that had queer baiting. I actually can't think of a lot of books that had queer baiting that I've read. I feel like I just have an overactive imagination, so I probably have shipped characters in books where there wasn't necessarily queer baiting. But TV shows, I could think of a lot of TV shows that have queer baiting. Main one I'm thinking of right now is Teen Wolf, but that's not what this video is going to be about. So we're just going to go on to the next question. 3, name a trope or a few within queer lit that you most want to get rid of. There are plenty. I feel like I talk about the tropes in queer lit that bother me a lot. I talk about the tropes in MM romance that bother me a lot on this channel very, very often. But I think that what I'm going to mention now is probably the one that I've just encountered the most recently. Have books where there's queer characters who take several books to either accept themselves or get with their love interest only for in that book for that character, one of the characters to die, or for some other traumatic thing that would separate the two characters. It was the Happy Very recently in a series that I just ended. I'm not going to say it right now because I'm going to talk about it in my wrap-up for this month. But yeah, it ticked me off. So that's probably gonna be the one that like I think I just need to get rid of. I'm tired of queer characters dying off unnecessarily, especially side character queer characters actually. So yeah, I'm just very done with that. Number 4 is which queer book are you most frustrated about not knowing of sooner? And I'm gonna go to my shelf for this one. Okay, first I'm going to go with Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe. Queer characters of color, wonderful friendship into romance story, wonderful family in this book. And I didn't know about it until I saw the Book Basement's review of it, non-spoiler review of it on BookTube. So that was like probably that was like one of the second BookTube videos I saw. I started my channel about 2 weeks after I saw my first BookTube video, so I did not discover this book until BookTube. And I so don't understand how I did it because this book is fantastic. Another book that I definitely think I would have, this book didn't come out until maybe 2011, but I wish I had it in high school, The Evolution of Ethan Poe, because it deals with sexuality, it deals with a type of body dysmorphic disorder, it deals with religion, and I feel like this book would have been so wonderful for me. High school, middle grade, whatever. It would have been so very useful. Even in my freshman year of college, this would have been helpful. My freshman and sophomore years of college, this book would have been helpful. I didn't read it until last year. So this book, I need it sooner. This book, I would have been very helpful sooner. These 2 books, that's all I'm going to say. Number 6 is which queer lit book written by a queer author felt flat? And so that happens, obviously, you would think so. The first thing that pops into my head is a book that's on my shelf. Hold on. Pretty sure Brian Malloy is queer. I think he lives with a partner of like 23 years or something like that. Brian Malloy, 12 long months. I hated this book for so many reasons. Molly Swain, just a meh character. It's about a girl named Molly Swain who has this huge crush on this guy. She even lets him, she does his homework for him, I think, in high school. When they go off to college, well, one of them goes off to college. He moves to New York as well, which is where she's going to college. She found out that he's gay, and she's heartbroken. She really, really is. It's kind of like, okay. But again, it just like, Molly wasn't really a great main character. She had this look, she was supposed to be like this naive girl who doesn't know a lot, who tries to learn over the course of the book. But with what happens with the twist, I really didn't feel like she really learned anything over the course of the book. She's probably a little less racist by the end of the book, maybe. But other than that, I don't know. So I didn't really like this book very much. And there's another book by this author that I also didn't like, and I got rid of the book so fast after I read it. I didn't think I actually finished it. It's called Brendan Wolf by Brian Malloy. Didn't really like that very much either, so I'm not a big Brian Malloy book fan. Number 7 is what are some red flags you see when you're reading or watching a review about a queer lit book done by a cishet reviewer? There are plenty. There are so many. But the most recent one that I really wanted to talk about, and probably what made me want to start film this video right now, is that I've been reading these reviews. Okay, the most recent one, I'm just going to talk about the most recent one. There's a book I'm reading, an audiobook. I'm about a good portion already through it. But I look at one of the lowest reviews on Goodreads, because I read like the reviews before, and someone said, you know, I thought that the gay character's relationship with his straight friend that was just not explored enough. It was just too easy. Like, his friend just kind of accepted it. And it was just like, I don't know, man. I just thought it was just too easy. And I'm just like, do you not think that straight people and gay people can be friends without, do you think it was like this big like thing that has to happen, like this huge conversation kind of agreement thing? Like, I don't understand where you're going with this at all. And this is not the first time I've seen something like this at all. I saw some people talk about Boy Meets Boy. Oh, let's go to the Boy Meets Boy one. There were these straight reviewers, book reviewers, who thought that Boy Meets Boy was just misleading to queer youth, and that it was bad for them, actually. Boy Meets Boy is a fantastic book, and there was queer people in the comments talking about that they understand the book is kind of like this utopia area, and there's obviously an opposing factor in that book. There's a character who doesn't have it as easy as the other characters, and if you read the book, you'd see that, and you should be able to understand that. But even when there's queer people in the comments telling them, hey, this is what the book actually is, it's like, no, but not everyone's going to understand the book the way that you do. And I'm like, I get that, but like, just ignoring the opinions of queer people is a problem. When you're a straight reviewer and you're ignoring the opinions of queer people about a queer piece of queer lit, that is a problem. And, okay. yeah, I'm gonna go to the next question. Number 8 is, why does queer representation matter to you? The fact of the matter is, books like Realm Possibility, which only has maybe 3 queer characters in it over this little course, and Boy Meets Boy kind of saved my life in high school. I was in a very, very bad place. I was very, very still closeted. I come out to 2 people who one of them lived in a completely different country. One, after I came out to him, we were still friends, but we weren't very close anymore, and so I didn't have anyone to talk to. I was super introverted still. I wasn't talking to anyone. Even people I was friends with, I wasn't talking to them about the things I was experiencing. And I don't know. When I read Boy Meets Boy, it helped me so much. Queer representation is so important. It can save lives. It really can. And this book led me to this book. So I'm really thankful for this book by David Levithan a lot. Because this book had so many relatable characters. It had straight and gay relatable characters in it. And I thought that was just really wonderful, that discovering David Levithan right when I discovered him. Just around the same time, I also discovered there was this queer woman of color and The Will of the Empress, and she's always been such a powerful character, and it was just such a big moment for me. That part of my high school experience. And not everyone gets that. Not everyone's getting these characters that they can relate to. Not everyone's getting characters, even when they are queer characters, that they can relate to, because everyone's so different on that spectrum. And that's why I think it's so important to keep infusing some diversity into the literature that's coming out, and to always keep changing it up and always keep doing it a little bit differently. I just finally read a book with an asexual character in it. I did not read any books with an asexual character in it until last month. Like, think about that. Like, the last couple of months. And that's crazy to me that's just not something that we see. And so, yeah, it's important. It's so important. It's so important for queer youth. It's so important for people who are older even to see this, because it's like, hey, that's something I needed then, but it's also something that still can help me now. And I'm just, I'm sorry. I'm not. Yeah. It's really important to me. I think it's just really important. And that's going to be it for this video, because I'm not tagging anyone, because I feel like most of the people I could tag already know about this tag, so they can do it if they want to. If you're new to my channel, because I actually got a bunch of new subscribers recently, I do talk a lot about queer lit. I talk about YA, I talk about historical fiction, I talk about classics, I talk about Shakespeare, I talk about everything on the channel. So I hope you guys stick around. I'm still doing a queer movie series. I can put a link to the first queer movie that I talked about in the queer movie series down below. I only did video 50. I filmed some other ones, but then lost the footage, so I'm probably going to refilm the rest after my vacation at the end of the month. We're going to a friend's wedding. I'm going to be filming a series where I just talk about my favorite queer films, because I really, really love queer films as much as I love queer lit. So you guys should definitely check that out when those videos are coming out. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.